Everybody is wondering at this point who is going to be Donald Trump's running mate, right? I mean, he's pretty much got the nomination on lockdown. He doesn't have to really worry about Nikki Haley because Republican voters and even the RNC itself has said, hey, Trump, you're our guy. So Trump's got it, right? So who's going to be the number 2 on the ticket? Well, right now, there are a lot of people jockeying for that position, including Republican Senator Tim Scott, who Trump actually humiliated on stage last week, and of course, Elise Stefanik, who has emerged as a very ardent Trump supporter, doing what he wants to in the House of Representatives, imposing Trump's will upon others in the House. And the two of them are now reportedly at each other's throats, trying to see who can take down the other one to eliminate a potential VP contender. According to reports, Tim Scott has had opposition research being conducted against Elise Stefanik, right? Trying to find all the skeletons in her closet so that he looks better in the eyes of Trump and he'll be picked instead of her. But according to Tim Scott, they didn't do that. The reports came out and said he did, but his office came out and said, we're not doing any of this. This is all lies. This is all hooey. None of it's true. So this begs the question, is Tim Scott lying about doing the opposition research? Or, and now here's where the conspiracy part gets in, it's now being floated as a possibility that Elise Stefanik's team is the one, who actually leaked the story to the original publisher saying, hey, Tim Scott's group is running opposition research on Elise Stefanik here. So they may have planted the story to make Tim Scott look worse and to paint themselves in a more favorable light. Either way, somebody's lying. Somebody's not telling us the whole story, and it's because they both want to be Donald Trump's vice presidential pick. And as Donald Trump keeps winning more little primaries and caucuses along the way, we're going to see these fights pick up. Now, we have already seen this, by the way. This is not just between Tim Scott and Elise Stefanik. A couple months ago, even before we had voting that started this year, even before we got into this year, you had Marjorie Taylor Greene and Kari Lake that were kind of doing the same thing. According to reports at the time, Marjorie Taylor Greene would be hanging out with Trump and she'd be trash talking Kari Lake. Then Kari Lake would be hanging out with Trump and she'd be trash talking Marjorie Taylor Greene. So everybody's at everybody else's throats right now in the Veep stakes. And it's going to get gross. It's going to be an absolute crap show as to who Donald Trump picks. But I think given the names that have been floated, right? J.D. Vance, who of course says, no, I'm not going to do it. Rudy Giuliani, who says, I would never do it, even though you were actually never in consideration. The only time people considered you as being the VP is when you came out and said you wouldn't take the position a couple days ago. So that was kind of weird, but you're not even an option, Rudy. Nancy Mace, Elise Stefanik, Tim Scott, J.D. Vance, who already says no, but if Trump came knocking, he'd answer that pretty quick. Kristi Noem, Kari Lake, Marjorie Taylor Greene. The smart choices I've always said, and I don't want to give Trump advice, but he doesn't take advice from smart people, so I'm safe. The smart pick is Kristi Noem. The smartest pick, by the way, is Nikki Haley. But aside from Haley, Kristi Noem would probably be the smartest one. But Trump's going to pick somebody dumb. Maybe even Tucker Carlson, right? That name's been floated. So we'll see what happens. But just as I always like to say, things are always going to get dumber, so buckle up, because this Veep stakes is going to be one for the record books.